Okay, so the easiest way to test the buffer. So the buffer in this game works that if you do F smash, and then as soon as it ends, right? We're like, as soon as you stop letting go, you press another thing. It will then input the F tilt as soon as it can. So let me do a taunt here, and then I'll hold F tilt. See how it cancels it? It perfectly buffers it. And even though I have high sense on, the buffer still seems to be several seconds. So Pokemon Trainer is the perfect character to try this out with, because let me show you by spamming. I'll spamming down B now. See how long it takes? You can only switch every 2 seconds or so. So you can see the buffer now. I'll hold down, and then I'll press B, and then I'll press B again. And it still buffers. So I'll do it again for you guys. Down B. Holding down B now. It's insane amounts of buffer. And I do not think that any kind of sensitivity can change that. One of the weirdest things with this is that if you hold forward and hold shield, it will buffer a roll. See now, I'm holding shield, I'm jumping, and then holding forward. And it will roll frame 1. It's really bad. One of the weirdest things about this is how it interacts with the short up mechanic. So the short up mechanic is to make short up instant aerial easier. This is really good for Ivysaur, for example. Ivysaur's short up forward. See how this has a lot of lag, right? See the slow ass animation. If you do a perfect short up fair, then it will auto cancel. And because of this mechanic, it's very, very, very trivial to do a perfect short up fair. All you do is that you press X and A at the same time, or Y and A at the same time. And we'll always, always, always do this. So it's good for that. Now the weird part is that you can buffer this too. So I can taunt, and then as soon as I press this thing, I can probably like, yeah, exactly. I'll taunt and then I'll hold X and A. I mean, I'll switch and then hold X and A. See? So when you're doing a combo, for example, this can be really important. Why the fuck doesn't it reset the damage? So for example, Charizard combo. This combo is really tight, but if I buffer it, I'm just holding X and A now, then it's very easy. You probably notice this if you sometimes back throw, where you can start dashing randomly by accident. And with Squirtle, you need this at low percents because this doesn't lead to any real combos, but short up upper does. However, short up upper is really hard to time normally. So you need to get out the upper in frame 1. So you dash now, which is not bufferable. And then you do frame 1 upper, and you get that. Which leads into like big boy damage. 54%. 0.8. 0.8! High sense to me doesn't really feel better or worse. The only thing I notice is that if I flick the stick, I'll just put it up here. So you can ASMR it and here. So even if I tap it like this, light. Like you can't even hear it, it still dashes. I think that's the only change with high sense. Let me go to low sense and we will see. Short up aerials do less damage, yes. As you can see here, 7, 8, 8.4, baby. Yeah, so now that I'm doing the same motion, it doesn't seem to dash as easily. It doesn't actually... I can't even feel a difference on the smashes, honestly. Even with low sense, I never seem to get F smash when I don't think I want an F smash and so on. So I don't think the low sense, high sense thing is real at all. I think whatever it is not very significant. If I really think about it, maybe it dashes a little bit slower, but not much at all. So with that done, I think we're going to tilt stick now. So to understand the reasoning, right, why people use tilt stick was not only was it because you want to be able to use like run up tilt and such in Smash 4. People didn't really use tilt stick in Brawl, and you can't change your controls in Melee, so that's definitely another thing. The reason why, and when I say tilt stick, I mean changing the C stick to, yeah, into tilts. Sorry, changing your C stick into tilts instead of smashes. And so when you use tilt stick like this, it makes running up tilts and stuff like that easy. When you have tap jump on, like I have now, it can be pretty hard to do a run up tilt. And it can also be hard to do run F tilts. So in this game, there's a mechanic that where you can run and then you do the slow turner like this, right? I'll slow it down so oh fuck. Fuck! There's this animation where if you can both do run F tilts. So you can do run, then F tilts. Then you can also run, then do the turnaround, this animation. And then you can F tilt again. And this will make you slide. See the difference here? This is a regular F tilt. I just stop dead in my tracks. And this is when I turn around first. If you look slowly, right, you can see that he starts turning around and then you input the F tilt forward. And you can make this extremely smooth, right? Where there's only like a frame of it. Now for most characters, this will not help them too much. The F tilt will come out a little bit further. I think you can probably make this with smashes too, but probably not as noticeably. Yeah, see there? Versus just run up F smash. Yeah, that one goes a bit further. Now this is really important actually for Squirtle. I will show you why. So I run up and do regular F tilts. F tilt can actually combo to another F tilt, but F tilt doesn't do too much by itself. And unless you really point blank, it can be very hard to get a grab after. But when you do the sliding one, not only can you get like 4 F tilts, and these are all bufferable, right? So I do the first F tilt, and then I just start holding the C stick again. Then let go, and then put forward again. See, quadruple F tilts. And this also, because you have the momentum, mean that you can do double F tilt to grab. So F tilt is 5 frames. And grab is, what is it? Grab is 7. However, so just because F tilt doesn't combo does not necessarily mean grab will combo. However, when you spot dodge in this game, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, fuck! I didn't show invisibility. I'm sorry. Run God. Thanks so much. 1, 2, 3. So even though it's 2 frames slower, because spot dodging is 2 frames slower than shield, if F tilt combos, grab is also unavoidable. Unless you have a 1 frame option to get out. Say like Pokemon Switch. Pokemon Switch is actually invincible frame 1. So the short up fair thing has a really weird feature, and I will show this with the Bellmans actually. Okay, so you can buffer things, right? Now, the thing is that the buffer in this game sometimes works weirdly. Sometimes when you try to do a run-up F tilt, you'll get it the wrong way, and I'm not really sure why. If I hold... Like, sometimes I'll just do the wrong tilt, and I'm not completely sure how that works yet. As you see, he can also use the run-up F tilt. The thing I wanted to test was basically... You see how you can do this? It's really hard for some reason. Oh yeah, okay. Here it is. So... I'll have you guys take my word on this, but right now when I do this, I'm not pressing Nair. I'm pressing down plus A. Like, I'm pressing X plus down C stick, sorry. And yet it's naring. So I'll do the down B. Down C stick. Yet, when I do it now, it gives me a fair or a downer. Now, this is really weird, right? Basically, when you buffer a short up aerial, for some reason it will be a nair instead of the right aerial. This is a really fucking badly programmed thing. I don't know why. Because when I buffer with the A, it buffers correctly. Wait, how do I'll press B. And so now I am not pressing a direction. B and then hold down. See how it buffers down there? And now I'll buffer back here. Yeah, it's really fucking bad. I don't know why this works like this. If you want to buffer fairs, you essentially have to use the control stick. And this will definitely lead to people getting the wrong aerial out sometimes. Okay, another thing is that when you use the like short up command one instead of just short hopping and then back airing, the game forces you to have the same momentum. So even though like I'm trying to do a retreating back air here, see how much it pulls me forward? It's like even though my control stick is completely left, it will like drag me backwards. And sometimes, and if you hold C stick forward, it'll often do like a, you know, it'll often do the wrong one. See, I'm not going even close to the full distance I could with short hop, even though I'm holding fully left. Now, if I tap the stick, this seems to be affected less, which is really weird. See how much momentum I get now? But yeah, essentially it means that buffered aerials should mostly be done with the control stick. Essentially, C-stick isn't very good in this game because of how all the bugs. The saddest thing is that if you've ever played Melee, you know that C-stick is perfect in Melee. It was hideous in 4. It was a little bit worse in Brawl, and now it's about as bad as it was in Brawl. Maybe a little bit worse than Brawl in Ultimate. See how I don't get any momentum back? I need to like tap it, but even if I tap it, I don't get full momentum compared to this. I don't understand why they did this. It makes the control in the game extremely hard. Another thing is that, okay, so I heard they fixed, so you see when you press forward, right? It like will put you a tiny bit forward every time. You won't just do the aerial. In Melee, if you jump straight up and press C-stick forward, you won't go forward at all. It'll give you no momentum forward. See how he keeps moving closer? And eventually it'll hit Ike. This does not happen in Melee. Essentially, they program the C-stick as literally putting in A plus forward instead of making it input fair. I'm not even holding the right side of the controller, just to show that I can't use the control stick. Now, in previous games, I heard that the C-stick was completely fucked. You got like so much momentum if you use the smash method. So this one has smash for sticks. I think in 4 you can turn it up with tilt stick. No, I was using tilt stick. So this is a thing they added, I think in 4 or maybe in Ultimate. Or if you hold the C stick, it'll just hold the smash. This means that it's really awkward if you're a Melee player to do a smash, because a lot of the time you'll just do and you'll just hold up. You won't just flick it, you'll just hold up. And right now, that will make you charge the move. When I was playing with Pop, he basically couldn't use the C-stick because he would do like up smash out of shield and it would be like this. This is not a setting you can change at all. I don't know why they didn't give you the chance to change this. And I think this, you can at least use C-stick in the air now. It has the same thing, right? Maybe, it seems a little bit stronger actually. I don't want to count the jumps, but It does seem like there's a little bit more momentum when you use smash attack in the air than tilt in the air. Yeah, it's definitely stronger, right? So I would recommend everyone to use tilt stick because of this. Essentially, it means that when you do this with C-stick, you don't get full momentum. And it will be even harder if you use a short up command, like when you press both of them at the same time, to get the right one. Yeah, I get like no momentum when I do this. Even when I just flick it. I'm not holding the C-stick at all. I'm just flicking it. Let me go back to tilt stick just to confirm this. Yeah, it seems like you get a bit more momentum. It's not a huge deal, but it can definitely matter, especially if you value controlling your character precisely, like when you use Simon. It's really noticeable, right? Like, this is the short up command one, where I press C-stick before I leave the ground. And this is when I press it after, like right after leaving the ground. It's huge, the difference. And it can make the game really weird to control. Because sometimes you'll fly off backwards, like this. And then if you input it quickly, you won't go anywhere. And just to be clear, I'm all for having more precise controls, but I think that if you do make a short up buffer command, it should work like intended. See when I want to, this is, even when you're doing upper, this matters, it seems like. This is me doing upper on the, what the fuck? Okay, so this is me doing upper with a command, using C-stick while at the same time as jump, and holding forward. Right, it will be for, and this is me when I do it right after pressing A. See the difference? I get over Palutena if I just do it. I'll do it frame 1 manually, and this is me doing it at the same time. Yeah, it's really weird. I think it's just a half-baked simplification of execution. Like Sakurai or the team wanted to make short up aerialing easier, to not make the now more aerial focused game too hard to get into. But what he instead did was that he made it even harder to control, essentially, because of the massive buffer. Dare with smash stick causes fast fall, spread the news. Oh, this is huge if that's true. See, even they think Falcon's #1. If you press it twice, you will fast fall. Oh, smash on C-stick. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, if you press it twice. What? I didn't even press it twice there. Okay. Alright, so don't use C-stick for smashes, because apparently sometimes it will fast fall the first input. What the This is me doing with A. This is me doing with C-stick. Like, sometimes it'll like noticeably fast fall if I tap it twice. Yeah, the sad thing about this is that it was perfect in melee. I understand that it's not necessarily easy to get all the different controls right, but when you have the perfect C-stick in melee and you choose to change it, you're gonna make me mad. Okay, what else do you want me to test with? Let's do a B-stick. So B-stick is just when you change it to special, which allows you to do some characters use this a lot in previous games, such as Lucas in Brawl and PM. High sense doesn't remove the buffer, it just makes tilt register sooner, so it feels more responsive. Yeah, that's basically what I said too. Sensitivity changing buffer making the game more responsive is a lie. Spread the word. Yeah, I think being able to change your buffer would be really such an easy change that would help people a lot. Oh, we got a good character to show up B-stick. Now this is a short tutorial for people that want to use, they come from melee or are just new to Smash and they want to learn what B-sticking is and B-reversing, wave bouncing, whatever the fuck the name is. See, this is very different from that. You can short hop right, and you want to turn around, and you can also short hop and go backwards. Now, it can be really hard to understand the first time, but it's important to realize that doing this is obviously a very different thing than doing that. let's say you start in this position, right? You want to jump forward with neutral B and hit him with this one. It's very different from both this thing, where you go backwards again. Especially now that you can jump with Lucario. This is going to lead to some crazy things. Like B-sticking, jumping, B-sticking backwards. Or B-reversing, way bouncing. So the weirdest thing about this mechanic is essentially what way you're turned influences this. So I think it's what way you have momentum. See, if I jump backwards, like, and B-stick neutral B, I'll obviously go and turn around the right way again. So this is essentially turning around twice. Right, if I jump forward and B-stick turn around, I'll just do like this. This is not very useful. Or B reversing, or way bouncing. Now if I run, then do a roar, so I jump the other way, now it's useful again. And this can all be done very quickly, so that people don't get to see if you're facing forward or if you're facing backwards. So this essentially creates a retreating, like a fake approach. And this can be done with fully charged move too. It's a move. It's a thing that it will essentially matter a lot for some characters and not much for everyone else. But even if you don't play a character that can use this, it will still matter for you because other people will do it. Essentially, when you're juggling someone and you're up here, what way they're turned will change which way they move when they B-stick. This is very famously used by like Diddy players and Snake players when they're really high up. They don't have that good aerial momentum, so you'll do this and then completely change momentum, making you way harder to juggle. Yeah, I'm not using B-stick right now. Okay, so right now I'm going to test if GameCube controls have more input lag. This is not a very scientific test. Like, I can basically try to show if I notice a difference when pressing A. This is a 2-frame move, right? This does seem noticeably faster, actually. Is it just me? Oh no. Oh no! Leffen, yikes. Leffen, yikes. Okay, this is the least scientific thing of all time. Are you serious? It's really hard to test. I think it might be that the A button is just really responsive on the Pro Controller. What if the people that think the online is good are just playing with Pro Controllers? This is obviously, like, not a great testing method, but the Squirtle does legitimately feel like even if I feel like I press them at the same time, I feel like the red Squirtle will more often win. Cardano, please. Someone tweet at Cardano.